good day? Yeah. We're going to try and change that for you now. I'm not having a good day, I've got to be honest. Earlier on today I had to go to Southampton, which wasn't the worst part of it, but no good day starts with I was in Southampton. But I was driving through Shirley and I had to pull up at some lights and I was sat there in the car, not just sat in the road like a fucking lunatic, and I saw my mate Ben across the road. I thought, well, that's weird, because I live in Bournemouth and Ben lives in Ipswich, so I thought the chances of me seeing him in Southampton are slim. So I did the only reasonable thing you can do in that situation. I wound down my window and shouted, "Oi Ben, you wanker!" Then 4 things happened all at the same time. First of all, Ben turned around to see who was shouting at him. Second, I realised it wasn't Ben. Third, the light went green, and 4, I stalled the fucking car. So now I'm just sat in Shirley with a very angry, confused-looking Southampton man looking at me like he wants some answers. So I managed to start the car and got out of there. I thought, right, I'll go and get a coffee. Went into Starbucks, and I don't know about you, but I'm quite a basic bitch when it comes to coffee. If I'm having a coffee, I'm just ordering a flat white. I don't need sprinkles, I don't need chocolate on it. I don't want a coffee with a vajazzle, basically. I just want some anxiety in a cup. That's what I'm looking for. Went in and it's still on the board, flat white, £4.25. But as he was ringing it up, he said that'd be £4.30, please. And I went, no, it says £4.25 up there. He goes, yeah, but you had a cup. I said, excuse me? He said, yeah, you had a paper cup, that's an extra 5p. I said, what's the fucking alternative? Are you going to put it in my outstretched hand, or do you just want to whack it straight in my pocket? He goes, no, you had a cup, that's extra. Don't give me this bollocks about it being about the environment, because you didn't grow these coffee beans in a window box outside your flat, Jasper. You paid a Guatemalan farmer $3 a day to fly these across the country. What do you mean? What do you mean? If you went downstairs during the break and asked for a pint of beer, and the guy just opened the tap and poured it all over the bar and then on the floor, you've got that wrong, son. You're doing that wrong. If he then said, well, did you want a glass for it? And you went, and if you said, sorry, fuck this up. If he said, oh, sorry, did you want a glass? You should have asked for it. You'd be completely justified in calling him a cunt. You cannot, right, have it, a cup of coffee. Now in that, the coffee is the most important thing, granted, but a cup is also integral to having a cup of coffee. You can't have one without the other. They're both important. Here's a question for you. Who can I ask this question to? Greg. I just need you to answer a quick question, sir. Which weighs the most, a ton of bricks or a ton of feathers? Well, no, you're wrong actually. The feathers weigh more. Because not only have you got the weight of the feathers, Greg, you've also got the weight of whatever it is you did to all those poor birds. Because that's a fucking massacre to get a ton of feathers. And I've worked out, this is how weird I am, I suppose. I worked out, if you needed a ton of feathers, you would have to kill something in the region of 41,000 pigeons. However, if you decided you wanted to use a smaller bird, if you wanted to go for a robin, you would then have to kill 537,000 robins. Greg, are you proud of yourself? Well, that's fucking disgusting. Anybody ain't got teenage kids? Yeah? They pricks. Mine too, I've got 2 boys, 15 and 13. Biggest pair of smart-ass, sarcastic bellends you will ever meet. Problem is, I can't complain about it because I made them that way. I designed them and trained them to be that way because I too am a sarcastic, smart-ass bellend. And in the normal day-to-day run of things, it works perfectly. When it's just us 3 taking the piss out of somebody else, it works exactly how I planned it to. Problem is, now they're a little bit older, they've gone on their own little side mission, they've joined forces and turned on me. So there's barely a day that goes by now where I don't get mugged off by 2 little versions of myself. Give you an idea, I went on the chippy the other day, and when the food was ready, the woman handed it to me and said, enjoy your meal. And then out loud, in front of a shop full of people, I said, you too. And then immediately in my head I went, fuck, what did you do that for? They're outside, the little one goes, Dad, did you just tell the woman in the chip shop to enjoy the meal she's not about to eat? I said, yeah, I did do that. And then he put on his little sarcastic voice and he goes, bit weird that, Dad. Don't think I'd have done that. Yes, get in the fucking car. Eldest one took a slightly different approach. He kind of looked at me sideways and knobhead. If I'd called my dad a knobhead when I was 15, I probably wouldn't be here telling you this story. Right? But the world's moved on. You can't hit children. Well, you can't leave a mark. If you're very careful and you know what you're doing. But the 15-year-old makes me laugh. Recently, now, we get on great, all three of us, but recently he started talking as if he is in an episode of Top Boy. It's all man them, blood, bruv, all the time, right? I'm like, what are you talking about? The other day, on the phone, we were just hanging up a phone call and he goes, calm, say nothing, bruv. He's from Varwood. Varwood is pretty much bang halfway between Bournemouth and Salisbury. Do you know what else is halfway between Bournemouth and Salisbury? Fuck all. Fuck all. Trees, fields, horses. Tell you what isn't halfway between Bournemouth and Salisbury. South East London or fucking Jamaica. What the fuck does he think he's doing? What does he think he's doing? But it's all the time. But like I said, I'm glad actually we do have that relationship with my kids, and I'm glad they're so confident, because when I was young I wasn't very confident. In fact, I was quite shy. Here's why. When I was 7 at school, we were getting ready for a nativity play. And when you're 7 getting ready for a nativity play, the first thing you want to know is what part am I going to get? If you're a boy, you want to be Joseph. If you're a girl, you want to be Mary. I didn't get either of those. They went to Stephen Jenkins and Caroline Wilkes, and this happened 40 years ago, and I've still got the fucking answer. Well, I thought maybe I'll get to be a shepherd or a wise man. Didn't get either of those either, because my teacher, Mrs. Beecham, who, not to put too fine a point on it, was a fucking bitch, cast me as the wind. Yeah, you're fucking right. I've never heard of it either. In fact, I've looked it up. I've read the Bible. It's not fucking in there. It's not in there. It doesn't say, and lo, the Virgin gave birth to the Saviour of mankind, but fuck me, was it blowy that night? Not fucking in there. It's not in this. You fucking made it up. It's not even in the soundtrack. Silent Night, Holy Night, all was calm. No winds. Made that up. But now you might be thinking, okay, so what does being the wind play mean? What does it entail? I'll tell you. It meant wearing one of Mrs. Beecham's black pleated skirts around my neck, spinning around, going woo. I am the wind. And now you might be thinking, but maybe it wasn't the part you wanted, but it's easy. You can't get it wrong, you fucking can. Don't worry about that, you can get it wrong. I wasn't very good at being the wind, apparently. So while the rest of my class were in our classroom learning about Roger Red Hat and the village with 3 corners, I was sent, thank you to the one person who got that reference, I was sent out into the corridor to practice being the wind. I think about that. 6, 7-year-old Zach in the corridor on his own, spinning around, woo, I am the wind. So another teacher came out of her class and asked me what the fuck I thought I was doing. And this was about 40 years ago. It was before autism. That second teacher would put her arm around me and go, I think we'll probably get you tested, sweetheart. No. She probably spent the rest of her teaching career thinking, dickhead. In fact, it's probably on a phone somewhere. Zach Lacey, dickhead. Ridiculous. But they do say every cloud has a silver lining. And this one does. This story does have a happy ending, in fact, because, like I said, that happened about 40 years ago, and at the time, Mrs. Beecham had to be 60 years of age if she was a day. So now I can take comfort in knowing she's almost certainly fucking dead. Thank you, Zach Lacey.